Session, we have learned about the concept of micro-teaching, its process, its characteristics, cycle of micro-teaching, and other important aspects related to this teacher training technique, that is micro-teaching. We will try to learn something about micro-teaching skills. As in the previous sessions, we have learned that in micro-teaching we practice different type of skills. In this session, the different type of skills will be discussed, and one of those skills, that is questioning skill, will be discussed in detail. Its component will be discussed with all of. So as there are number of skills of micro teaching, first of all, skill of writing instructional objective. Teaches the teacher trainees how to write instructional objective of their lesson. Then comes the next skill of introducing a lesson. This skill tells about how to introduce your lesson in an effective way. Different component of this skill deals with a different aspect of introducing a lesson to your student. Then comes skill of questioning. Skill of questioning is also a very important micro teaching skill which tells about the art of questioning, which teaches us how to ask questions in a class, how to frame questions, and how to handle the responses of the student. The next one is skill of probing questions. It is a next step of questioning skill where we ask some probing questions which leads to the thinking of the students and makes a classroom climate a very energetic and effective for a wonderful learning situation. Skill of explanation. In each and every lesson we need this skill. In any subject we use explanation. The component of this skill tells us which are the main factors which should be kept in mind while we are explaining something to our student. The next comes skill of illustration with examples. Next comes skill of illustrations with examples. This skill tells us how to make our lesson more lively, more interesting for our students. Different components are focusing how to use illustration in the classroom. Then comes the skill of stimulus variation, which tells that to make our classroom effective, we need to shift the attention of the student from one stimulus to another one, from first to second, from audio to visual, from visual to multimedia. So there are a number of ways to make stimulus variation in the classroom through the activity of the students. A number of authors have worked on these micro teaching skills and defined different skills which can be practiced by a teacher trainee. When we practice these skills one by one, then we try to integrate them. So in this lesson we are focusing on skill of questioning. This is very important skill for a teacher to make classroom interactive, make classroom lively. Now we will discuss the components of skill of questioning. As I have already said, that questioning is a wonderful art. It makes a teacher more effective, but for that purpose we should learn what are the different components of good question. So I am talking about the structure of question. This skill is divided into three parts. Now we are going to discuss different components of skill of questioning. A art of questioning makes a teacher more effective, makes your lesson more interesting. So we are going to discuss different components of skill of questioning. First of all, structure of questions. It is very important aspect of questioning. This skill is divided, the component of this skill are divided into three parts. The first one is structure of questions. The second one is process of asking questions. In the first part, we will learn about the different component of how to structure a question. In the second part, we will try to learn the different type of component which are required to ask question in a more effective way. In the third, how to handle the responses of the students or pupil. When we ask some question to our classroom, then we have to handle the responses of our student. To deal with those responses, we need to understand the different guidelines, the different component which can make our skill more effective. So now we are going to discuss the first part of this skill, structure of questioning. Look at these four key points, the key components. First of all, when you are going to structure a question of particular topic, you have to decide whether your question is relevant or not. It means the relevancy of questions is very important aspect when you frame a question which should be asked to your students. The second one is the grammatical correction of questions. Please remember that your question should be framed in a proper way. It should be grammatically correct. The third one is concise and preciseness of question. Question should be concise and precise. The fourth one is specificity. It should target to a specific point, a specific task. So these are the 4 points which should be kept in mind while you are structuring your questions. This part is completed before coming to the classroom. When we have framed good questions, then we move to the next step, that is a process of asking questions. In this phase, you ask question to your students. So at that time, these 5 components should be in your mind. First of one, what is your speed of asking question? It should not be too fast or too slow. You have to maintain a good speed according to the needs of your student. The second one is voice of the teacher. It should be audible to all the students. So in the same way, it should not be very slow or very loud. Third one, pacing between 2 questions. In this skill, you ask a number of questions to your student. So you have to maintain a proper pacing between one and second question, second and third question. The next one is logical sequence of questions. In each content, in each topic, there may be some logic. There may be some logic like the first thing will come at this place, the second at this place, the third at this place. We have to follow that particular logic of the content. So we have to put our question in a sequence which should maintain that particular logic. The next one is unnecessary repetition of questions. You can repeat your question, but not every time. You have to keep in mind that you repeat questions only when it is required. Otherwise, avoid it. The third one is handling of pupil response. The first of all, how you will accept their response, your way of acceptance of response. You are nodding your head, you are going near to your student. So there may be different type of ways and means to accept the response. Then seeking further information. Sometimes you need further information from the student side. So you ask some more clarification from your student. The third one is use of prompting. Prime and prompts are used whenever you feel that students are feeling some kind of difficulty to give proper answers. In that case, you can use prompting to make the student easy to answer your questions. So these are the different points, different component of skill of questioning. Whenever we are planning a lesson, we need to understand these components. Thank you.